Welcome and thank you for joining us today.
We're Derps and Burps, the podcast for all gamers, spiritual souls, and creative minds out there.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our beautiful podcast that you love and we love just as much as you because it's our freaking safe space. And today we're back with a really interesting topic for you. At least Steffi and me think it's interesting, right?
Yeah, very interesting. Very important as well.
Yeah, especially for us, but I think also for you to understand, because I think, and also Steffi, it is maybe a topic that is not as obvious as other things when it comes to the whole topic of content creation. So the topic today is supporter versus spectator and the best ways to support your favorite creator. That is the topic today. Also, I had the idea. I'm not 100% sure yet if we're gonna keep this. Okay, Steffi was also not 100% sure if that's a good idea or not. But we're gonna try it. Okay,
we try.
We're gonna try it. See, that's what I love about Steffi. Like, she's always open to try things. Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
We can only fail or succeed. Like,
exactly.
And both is fine.
Exactly. So we're gonna try something new at the podcast because I told Steffi that I obviously listen to other podcasts as well, and in some podcasts that I listen to, it's the case that the people often start. Even though they have like a set topic, they often start with a few minutes, just chit-chatting or like having a little back and forth. Like, hey, Steffi, how you doing today? What's going on? How are you feeling? Is there anything you want to talk about? How was your week? Is anything coming up that's stressing you out? That kind of talk. And I have to say, I personally, I really appreciate and enjoy those parts of podcasts simply for the reason that I feel like I get a little bit of insight of maybe people that I only follow on Instagram, and I don't see like the whole picture of everything. So we're gonna try to implement it today, maybe for like 1 or 2 more episodes, and we would really appreciate your feedback. So it doesn't matter if it's you watching on YouTube and leaving a comment, or if you're listening to Spotify, shooting us a quick DM, Twitter message, or comment, or whatever it is. Feel free to tell us if you enjoyed this little extra time in the beginning where we're just chit-chatting, or if you would rather not have it and have us straight go to the topic that is obviously advertised in the beginning and in the title. But anywho, we're gonna start like we start every week with the listener of the week. Steffi, go ahead.
Our listener of the week is Pommel Bear on YouTube this episode, guys. And he's saying, really like the talk, but if you have guests on your show, you might consider having an interview script of some sort, so both of you split questioning the guest and talking about the topics. Thank you, Pomo, for your feedback. Really much appreciate. I already answered you on YouTube. I'm so bad with this, guys. This is exactly why Julia is our moderator of the podcast, and I'm here just to throw out my thoughts, right? And like, we have nice conversations and everything. With the guests, we always have a script. Like, we always have our guideline and everything with all the questions and stuff. I was just more like a listener, like you last time, because I really enjoy hearing and listening to the conversation. And I'm more like the passive.
It's a voyeur kind of.
Yeah. It's like I'm so bad at this, guys. I'm not a good, like, I can't guide you through an episode like Julia does. If I would do that, like, the whole episode would be a fucking shit show.
No.
Listen.
Listen, I'm just gonna throw in my sense. So I have this talk with Steffi often, right? Like, if her or me or whatever it is, we come up with a new idea, and Steffi and me in private, we often talk about imposter syndrome, right? Like how, especially Steffi, like for me, Steffi is such a confident woman, but you would not believe how often Steffi says like, oh, I would love to do this, but I feel like I don't have the skill to do it or whatever it is. But listen, Steffi. I just posted something on Instagram today, and I'm going to read out that quote because when I read it, I had to not only think about me because I'm like this sometimes as well, but especially about you. So I'm just gonna
Really?
read out my quote. Yeah. It is, stop telling yourself you're not qualified, not worthy,
I
or
read
not
that.
experienced enough. Growth happens when you start doing the things you're not qualified to do. So I just want to...
I need to jump out of my box more often again. I know that. Like, out of my comfort zone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But to come back to the comment of Pummel, like, I 100% agree with that. Like, obviously, it was mostly just Karina and me talking. And I think we had that in the very first episode. I think it was also really heavy that I talked a lot and Steffi talked a little bit less. And I think most of the time it's me talking a lot. And I often feel really bad about that. I'm so sorry. But as I said, like, I want to get Steffi out of her shell. And I think for the next guest, so as Puma, for example, said that we should have a script, I actually, Steffi and me, at all times, we make a little bit, in German, we would say, a Leitfaden. So before every episode, Steffi and me brainstorm, we write a script with like rough points that we want to go through. I think we touched on that topic before already. So it's not like we didn't have the questions. We do have it. I just know that Steffi was not really comfortable doing that stuff. But I think we could set it ourselves, or you also, for a challenge that for the next guest we're gonna try to make it maybe not 50-50. Maybe we don't like overwhelm you, but we could try to make like
70-30 or so.
Yeah, exactly. Let's try 70-30. So you can chime in a little bit more. We're gonna just mark the points that you're gonna ask, and whenever you want it, and you're gonna see, you're gonna be just as comfortable as me in no time. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you that you're doing this.
We haven't done it yet. Be proud of me after we finish that.
I believe in you. No, really, like, that is something for me, like, always that it breaks my heart a little bit that you don't trust yourself with so many things, because you have to think about, like, most of the people, like, unless like it's people that do a job like for many years, but in the end we're all just people out here trying our best, feeling, or maybe not everybody, but most of the people just, trying and learning by doing. And doesn't matter if you're new in a job, if you're self-employed, if you're being a parent that tries to, do their best or whatever it is. Like, I think it's in very many cases that way. And yeah, I would be really confident in your ability to do that in the future. So
try.
But hey, let's start with our new little beginning. So Steffi, do you want to tell us how you're doing? What's on your mind? What have you been up to? Have you recovered from your sickness?
I indeed have recovered, but I'm kind of sick again, guys, which is amazing, because Max is still sick. He's feeling better today. But he was knocked out completely the past 2 days, so he was just lying on the couch like I did for 2 weeks, and like a week ago for 2 weeks. And it's my throat, like my throat hurts and I'm coughing a lot. I'm trying to like hold it back for the podcast so I don't blow your ears when you listen to this. But physically, yeah, it's okay. My energy is not 100% there, because again, I'm just like a little bit, I'm not sick, but how to say? Angeschlagen.
Angeschlagen.
You know what I mean?
Beautiful Austrian word, angeschlagen.
You know what I mean?
She's not 100%.
Yeah, I'm not 100%.
Battle scarred.
Yeah. Which is annoying, because if I get sick again, I swear I'm gonna fucking smash someone's face. I was sick for 2 weeks, okay? And I finally recovered. Then Max comes home, gets sick again. And I don't want to be sick again, especially because I started working, like summer or season starts again with the street food market. So on the 1st of April, I need to be 100% healthy again and well, because I need to work like 15 hours or 10 hours a day like at a street food market, and I cannot afford to be sick, and I want to be there.
You need to drink all the lemon water with ginger and like ginger tea,
a lot of vitamin C and
stuff.
everything.
Yeah. I believe in you.
I'm trying.
I believe in you. What else is new? Steffi and me would have gone next week, I think, to Munich for 2 days for an event that has been cancelled.
Sorry. Because
you can't really say what event it is. Yeah.
No, but
the
time this episode is out, this already happened. So
Oh yeah, true. I always forget that.
It's
Anyway,
always
so yeah, it's
way
the
more.
time-wise it's a little bit weird, but anyway, at the time of the recording, the week after, Steffi and me were supposed to go to a little event for 2 days to Munich.
Yeah.
So we had a little girls trip before Steffi starts working, but sadly that got cancelled, which is obviously understandable regarding all the
Yeah.
circumstances that what's going on in the world and so on. Beside of that, what else is new for me? I changed my background, so if you're watching on YouTube, you probably can see the new colors. I have everything
Everything
greenish
green.
now. Yes. So that's new for me. What else? I'm still struggling a little bit with Twitch and stuff. I'm not really
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. Like, I can't really find the content at the moment that's working on Twitch for me. Oh, I actually edited a video myself the first time in a very long
Nice.
time. And
The vlog, right?
yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna post it
Mm-hmm.
today. It's like a vlog. In a way that I really enjoy watching vlogs. I don't know if you guys know those, but they're those vlogs that are really fast cut without any talking. So there's just either like some lo-fi music underneath or some really chill, nice, moody music. And then
It's like mood shots, huh?
yeah, kind of like that. So
Mood shot video.
I mostly watch, it's basically from Japanese people,
Mhm.
their daily vlogs. So they're often really shy, so they don't show themselves in the camera, but they often do like videos like the day in the life of a Japanese, I don't know, baker or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And they just show, how their day looks like, and like really fast edited. And
Mhm.
I kind of felt inspired by that. Like, I have no idea how it's gonna receive, because I know it's really specific and really different to the
Mhm.
content that I usually did. But for some reason, I really, really felt like doing that video. So
Mhm.
I filmed it, I edited it, I found some cool music with it.
Mhm.
I'm not sure about the music choice to be 100% sure, but it's like really fastly, just shot after shot after shot.
Mhm.
I was kind of also inspired by Karina when she was here. You know how
Mhm.
she said storytelling is often not
Yeah.
necessarily about words or writing stuff down. So it's like, that's actually true now that I think about it. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoy those vlogs the most, where there's nothing being said, where it's just you feel the mood and you feel the scenery or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put something like that out and try it, and that's going out today. And what else? Oh yeah, and as of
Came
today,
out on the 18th, guys.
at the 18th, exactly. Thank you. And
Just
what
mentioning if you didn't watch it yet.
exactly? And then what else is there? I started my OnlyFans today.
No.
Yep. And I have to say, again, like, now it's gonna be me talking so much again. I actually
Spill the tea, queen.
I spill it. So I'm
Spill it.
super happy I made the decision. It's been online for 3 hours at this point of the recording. I get so much good feedback, so many nice, respectful, really, really such supportive
I mean,
messages on there so far.
Your first hardcore porn video on your platform is amazing as well. Why wouldn't they be super respectful, right?
Steffi is obviously kidding. No, just for the people that are interested, I'm obviously not posting any hardcore porn or any adult content on there, which was a really big topic already on my Twitch channel. So it is only so it's no adult content, it's just behind the scenes, it's things that I don't necessarily want to share on my Instagram or Twitter or whatsoever, because I know that by the big audience, you know when on Instagram there's often people following you that don't necessarily follow you because they like you, but just because they're interested in what they're doing. And then you often get like shitty comments, like, for example, if I would tell you that I'm on a diet, and then like a week later I go out with my friends and I eat a pizza, and like, even if you're you're on a diet, you can eat a pizza every now and then. And then you're gonna get messages like, "Oh, but you're on a diet. You're not allowed to have pizza." And you put milk in your coffee while being on a diet. Those kind of things. And so those are, for example, things that I will share on my Instagram. On my OnlyFans, where I feel like it's more of a judgment-free, respectful place. I want it to be a safe place. And I often get, or I often already got messages in like, what do I want to do? So it's all going to be safe for work content. I might sprinkle here and there a picture in that I would post on my Instagram again. Like there has been bikini pictures on my Instagram. There has been pictures in a bikini and a kimono on my Instagram. So I'm of
Oh
course
my
gonna,
God,
yeah,
how dare
I know,
you?
scandalous, right?
Oh.
So those things that are not the exact same content, but in that range, I will also be posting there, and maybe some
Yeah.
feet or toes here and there, but nothing else. Like I'm not gonna sexualize anything. I'm just gonna post whatever I feel like and I'm comfortable with. But again, if anybody is interested in that, you will be disappointed if you're gonna be searching for adult content on there. And to round this whole thing off and to go into our usual topic, the only thing that I just wanted to say, the only thing that's also on my mind is obviously before I posted everything, I shared that with my community on Twitch and on other platforms as well, and had talks about all of that. And I have to say, I mostly got very, very positive feedback. And we all know we're in 2022, like the whole body positivity, do whatever you want, you know, like in the end, for me, I'm the only person that needs to be happy with whatever I post and whatever I decide to post. As I said, I decide to not post adult content. But I also got negative content from negative feedback from a few people that were close to me that say that they're disappointed just because I create an account on another platform, or phrased it in a different way. Like I don't know the exact wording. And that is something that kind of made me sad. So that's the only bitter pill of what happened here, that apparently some people are not 100% content with what I'm doing, not necessarily because they don't like me, but because they're afraid of what consequences it's gonna have for my community, which I personally don't really see why an additional social media should change anything about the community I have, for example, on Twitch, right? So yeah. But anyhow, that's what's going on for me. Is there anything else you want to add from your side?
Not really.
We're going straight into the topic.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Steffi, what's our topic today? Do you want to like give us a
Today,
slight
guys,
introduction?
I saw a pretty cool video or a reel on Instagram. It was 2 days ago. From one of my positive affirmation sites on Insta. And this guy was talking about supporters versus spectators. What is a supporter? What is a spectator? And why a spectator doesn't do as hard as it sounds right now. But spectators are. We're gonna explain everything though. But spectators are not really like any. It sounds so harsh. How did he phrase it? I don't want to say that.
Just say it harsh. It's okay. We're gonna elaborate later anyway. So it's say it the harsh way, and we're gonna explain later on. It's what it's meant exactly.
Yeah. So the main idea behind like this whole episode today is just to show you how you can support your favorite content creators without money, especially without money, because there's many ways, and obviously also financial ways, but we talk about this later on. And a spectator basically is someone that just consumes your content, which doesn't do much or
without interacting with it, right?
Exactly. It doesn't do much for the content creator. You basically just consume something. And I feel like I feel the need to like talk about this because there's so many awesome ways to support any of your favorite creators, no matter who it is or where they're from or what they post. You can always support them without like a single cent and without taking much time, just to make them like be either more discoverable on platforms or get their algorithm more like going better, and all of these things. There's so many different amazing ways, and I just feel like I want to share that with you because it might seem obvious, and you all know all the options you have, but they're somehow so obvious for us that we kind of like don't see them anymore.
Yeah, you get
Like, for
blinded.
example,
Mm.
yes, for example, now the option with the story, like the stories on Instagram with the like button. I also didn't see that in the beginning because I need to like get my brain used to this option in the bottom right to click the heart.
Mm.
But if I do that, it helps my favorite creators so much because the algorithm gets better. You
Exactly.
support them so much with this. And those are things we want to talk about today.
Exactly. I think that was really well summed up by you. See,
Thank
you
you.
can do this.
I can do that. I just can't lead through a whole episode.
You did great, sweetie. So let's
Thanks,
start
Mom.
about what is a supporter, what is a spectator. I think you already like made the bigger picture, right? So a supporter, and there's also, I don't really know how you want to call them, but I think every creator has their super fan, or even as a person that maybe just has an Instagram, like everybody has this one personal cheerleader that is liking every post, that is commenting on everything, that's the first one to subscribe or whatever it is to a new platform. So first of all, you guys, we love you so much. But also I just want to make sure, and I think that I also speak for Steffi when I say this, we're not here to call out like people that are lurking or are spectators, and we're not saying what you're doing is bad, not at all. If that is the way you want to you want to stay, that is totally fine, and we appreciate you just as much. We just want to show you today that even so Steffi said it already, like when we say support your favorite creators, you I think you often underestimate how much you can do for a creator for free, because in the end, for most creators, especially people like us, we make our most money with working with brands. And how do you work with brands? You have a high number of interaction. So engagement rate, exactly. So engagement rate is one of the most important things when you work with brands. So what is an engagement rate? The engagement rate is, I think, the percentage of how many people see your post and how many people interact with that. So that can be on different platforms, as Steffi already said. It can be liking, it can be commenting, it can be sharing, which is really, really important. If you don't know yet, for example, on Twitter, like a retweet, or if or Steffi posts a reel and you just click on the share button and share that reel, like you technically don't even have to fully send that to one of your friends. It is enough to just copy the link and paste it, let's say, into I think you don't even have to paste it. I think it's technically enough if you put it into let's say a notes or something you have in your phone. Preferably, obviously, maybe you can just find a buddy, a friend that you have, and you're like, hey, you know what, I would love to support my favorite creators, and I'm gonna do that in a way that I'm gonna be sharing stories, posts of that creator to you. I hope that's going to be fine for you, because I know it supports the person. So you can do it in whatever way. There's obviously the commenting and so on and so on. We're going to get into all of the details, but that is basically the more people that watch your content also in some way interact with your content that you put out, the better, the more valuable you are for a brand to work with. So many people think that because that's the way it was in the past it was all about, oh yeah, how much following do you have, you know, how many followers do you have, how many views do you have on a video, and so on, which it's still important in some type of way, but it's more about the interaction rate. So let's say as an example, I'm posting something about a new headset of Logitech, right? And I share a link where you can look at a blog post about what is so special about the headset or whatever. So the most important thing for the brand, for example, would be how many people from my community actually took those, I don't know, 10 seconds out of the day to click on that link. And even maybe you're not interested in a blog post or whatever it is, but you just scroll through it and give them that creator maybe like this one interaction that can change a lot. And let's say if it's then the 10 most closest supporters do that, and so on and so on. That can be so valuable, and that creator can get so much more valuable for the brand. So that is the biggest thing that you can really do for your favorite creator. Then again, as we said, like spectators, it's not necessarily bad. And I think I speak for Steffi as well. Like, we both have a lot of spectators, or how we call them on Twitch, lurkers, right? And there's also the thing that, don't call out the lurkers, which we don't necessarily try to do, because there's still ways you can become from a spectator to a supporter without having to publicly interact. So you can also, let's say you don't want to comment, you can still help with using the watch time, or just sharing it, but privately, right? If you're maybe not comfortable with sharing something that public, or slide into the DM. There's also Insta stories where you can react with the emojis, or the likes on the stories. Nobody really sees who likes those stories. So yeah, I think that is the biggest misconception, or that some people don't really know. So Steffi, do you want to walk us through maybe all the steps? So I know that maybe some of those are going to be really obvious for people, right? Like, we know there's a like button, we know there's a comment button. Maybe not everybody knows about the sharing, how important that actually is. I think on Instagram, sharing is even more important for the algorithm to actually suggest your content to more users, the more people share. So do you want to walk us through all the different free ways that somebody that is maybe a spectator right now can become a supporter?
Yes, I just also wanted to throw in, guys, when we say spectator, it's not, for example, I didn't like necessarily talk about or mean Twitch with it, because I am the biggest lurker ever. Like, I have streams open on the side while I work. But what I started doing for, I don't know, 1.5 years now, like I try to do this more often again. Since I am a lurker on Twitch, because I simply just enjoy watching something, but I don't really feel the need to always like be present in chat. What I do on other platforms, for example, on Twitter, whether if it's Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, wherever I am at the moment, scrolling through my timelines, whenever I see something of my friends or like creator friends I see, I just I like their content, but I always also, not always, but I also write a comment, even if it's just like a laughing emoji because it's super funny, or just saying like, dude, I love this so much. This is amazing. These are things like I started doing more often, because I know this engagement is very, very important for them, and obviously for me as well, because I'm a creator myself. So I started just programming my brain like this to support the people I like on social media, because I know this. And even though it's so obvious, like liking, retweeting, and everything is so fucking obvious, but that's the reason why we forget about it sometimes.
Exactly.
Because it's so natural.
Can I just throw one thing in? I just wanted to say something. Sorry, that I forgot to say that earlier. With Twitch. So first of all, I want to agree with you, and I definitely want to start doing that more as well. Like, I always have those phases where I'm like super active on social media, and then other days where I just need to distance myself.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but I 100% agree. I want to do that more. The one thing that I wanted to throw in, I think from all of this supporter spectator, we kind of have to exclude Twitch from the list of all other social medias, because Twitch does not really have an algorithm and doesn't really have a way to push your content onto other creators. Of course, there's the suggested streams that you might like, but it doesn't work like on YouTube or something like that. On Twitch, don't get me wrong, the lurking is more than fine. What we're talking is mostly other platforms. That's the only thing that I wanted to throw in, since there's
ignore Twitch, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Twitch doesn't have the algorithm that supports the creator and enables them to grow, sadly, which we all hope that it's going to change at one point. Also, if you want to know more about that, Steffi and me, we talk so often about it, but Devin Nash talks a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that issue, why growing on Twitch is so hard. So
That's
move on.
why I
Sorry.
also
Exactly.
yes, this is actually the first point. First point how you can support people or your content creators is by following them. Obviously, guys, but that's one thing. Like when I, for example, when you, Julia, rate someone,
Mhm.
I didn't know before. I check out their other social media as well because I know Twitch is its own bubble, guys. Like this is, as Julia said, that's a
Mm.
completely different world. So what I do is like I follow on Twitch because doesn't hurt me. The person seems nice and everything. I just follow them. And then I go to their other platforms or check out which other like social media they have and follow them there. Just to support them a little bit more.
Mm.
No matter how big, no matter how small. And that's the thing. Like following is so obvious. Like you obviously like our community obviously
I forget that
follows us.
often. I have to be honest.
Really?
Like I catch myself sometimes watching streams or like even I don't know, seeing stuff on Twitter because other people like it,
Mhm.
and then I interact with the content, or like people that I talk with in DMs on Instagram or something, and then at
Mhm.
one point I go on their profile, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not even following that person. And then I feel so awkward because obviously like it will pop up that you haven't followed that person. So I'm sometimes embarrassed. Like, don't tell him, but for the longest time I watched Sasu stream all the time and I forgot to follow him. Like I think
Dude,
I was
okay.
subscribed before I even followed Sasu.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's so obvious, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
because of that exact reason, we sometimes like forget
Or like even
with following.
even like another thing, like for example, you like to consume the content of a person in one platform and then you kind of
Yeah.
forget that you already touched on it, right, that they also exist on other platforms. Do you
Yeah.
know how often that happened, that I watched somebody on Twitch and then like only years later for some reason they get recommended for me on Instagram, and then I find their Instagram and then I like find out all of those cool things, because I
Yeah.
feel like everybody, like almost on every single platform that you create content, at least for most people, I don't know if you feel the same, but you're almost like a different person on each platform, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for example, for me on Twitch, I'm like the angry raging gamer that talks about their stomach problems and diarrhea and period pain all the time. On Instagram, it's all about the animals and food, more or less.
Yeah.
Then on the podcast, it's all about like serious talk and spirituality. And on YouTube, I feel like there you can find like all the fun sides of me and like the
Yeah.
highlight reel. And so sometimes think about the content that you consume the most, and think about if you checked out their other platforms, because
Yeah.
that is really, really, really something that I experienced to get to know like other sides of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, definitely. Also with Twitch, as we said, it's such a like it's its own bubble. You catch a moment, and this moment can whether like turn into you like this person or you don't like this person. And you don't consider all these things, like maybe the game is going shit right now, so we're tilted sometimes. And if you
Yep.
catch us in that moment, or we're just screaming right now, or we're laughing, or we're being sarcastic because we have a very dark humor. Those are all things like you catch us in this moment. But there's so much more, and this is also like a problem of judgment. But obviously, like the first impression counts. If I don't impress you, or if I don't, um, how to say, like prove you that I'm worth
You're
your
worthy. Yeah.
yeah, that's fine as well. But that's why I always look on other platforms as well. If
Mm.
I'm interested in the person, I don't say you have to follow everyone we rate or whatever we do.
Yeah, of course not. Of
But
course not.
the thing is, if I'm interested in someone, or if I say okay, or think, hey, this person is cool, no matter how big or small the creator is, I like what they're doing, it's super cute, I just check out their other platforms, I follow them there, because it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt me how many people I follow if I have great people in my follow list.
Exactly. Like obviously, like you can always, let's say you follow somebody because you want to support them, you know, like Steffi rates
Yeah.
somebody new. I watched a stream, whatever, it's something nice, and then longer down the line, like I follow them, for example, on Twitter as well, and they maybe post something that doesn't align with my beliefs of whatever it is, you can
Mm.
still unfollow that person. Like you
Yeah.
don't, just because you follow somebody, you don't owe them anything. You don't
Yeah.
have the need to do those kind of things. And another thing that just came to my mind that's also not on our list, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
is that reminded me also of why, for example, I still do YouTube, even though YouTube for me is something that is not profitable at all. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I have the thing, like, obviously through the years you change, right? So
Yeah.
when I used to go to school or whatever, or I wasn't streaming full time now, I used to consume way more content outside
Mm-hmm.
of my workday, obviously. And so I had way more time to watch, for example, streams. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of those people can relate. Like, I think I have many people, like, I'm streaming for 9 years now, obviously, right? And many of the people that
Yeah.
followed me back then, they were in school, they had way more time. Now they're working a full time job, they're maybe having a family, they have a busy life, and they don't have the time to tune into the stream every single day. And that's, for example, why I think, for me personally, it's important that for those people that are still interested in you as a
Mm-hmm.
person, right, and still
Yeah.
want to be a part of your life but don't have the time to be there on Twitch, that I give them, as you say, content on other platforms that they can still
Yeah.
be can still feel like they're part of the community.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and another thing that you also said is, like, as you said, like, with raids or on Twitch is so hard to be high energy and be cool and funny all the time. And I'm personally struggling with that a lot. So I'm super, super thankful to having a highlight reel in that sense. Is it the reels on Instagram or is it YouTube videos where people can actually go and check out and be like, okay, the chick is actually, she has her moments, you know? She can be good at video games, so she can
Yeah.
be funny, or oh my god, hell no, she's talking about period shit, I'm out. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. But
That's the thing. You always have to consider it's not like YouTube, guys. We are live. We're live for 5 to 8 hours a day, or like 4 days or 5 days a week. And this is literally, you cannot be 100% full on energy for eight
unless
hours and unless
unless
you have.
you're on cocaine or
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
Adderall or something like that, but that obviously is
So,
not us, right? You would be surprised, by the
yeah.
way, how many people abuse drugs like this in the scene. Like, I'm not saying
Mm.
everybody, like, obviously there's a lot of people
Yeah.
that don't do it, but many people, like, if try being high energy for, like, even if it's just 4 hours a day. That's also
Yeah.
why I feel like a lot of new creators do not do the thing where they stream like 8 to 12 hours anymore. They limit themselves to do like 2, 3, maybe 4 hours streams, but like
Yeah.
high energy, trying to put out the most that they want. And that is something that I'm really interested in as well, honestly.
Mm.
Like, because I feel, see, that's something I'm really struggling with. I feel at the moment like such a potato. I feel like I
Yeah.
obviously have my moments, but I feel like it's getting less and less because I'm just so, I'm a washed up streamer, man. No, no.
How
But
how about is Tim doing the splits still, like 4-4? You know what I mean? 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours
I'm
in
not
the
sure if he's
afternoon,
still doing
evening.
that. Like, I think we
He
already
did
said it. Like,
that a lot, right?
I only watch his YouTube highlights now, but I
Yeah.
don't know. But that's also a good idea, as you say. Like, you do for 4 hours in the morning, for hours in the evening.
Yeah. Also, because of the different people, some people are working early, some people are working late.
True.
Also, energy wise, 4 hours are fine. 4 hours. You also need to think like how long is the time, like the spawn of a person, how long can
The
they
attention span, you
um
mean, right?
attention span, yeah, how
Mm,
long is the attention span of a person, how long, so think of school, like even though school was a bit different because yeah, we all had to learn
mm.
stuff and study, and we didn't want to, but now things, when you're interested in, your brain can only take so much, like soak up so much, so at some point you as a spectator um get like lower energy, and you as a person who's the streamer gets lower energy by the time, like after 3 hours of streaming, because obviously it's just like you cannot be 100% all the time, or like 6 hours straight, and that's just normal. And if
No.
someone catches you in that moment, they feel like, okay, yeah, she's boring or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So give people
so, yeah.
second chances. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Check out the other
Check out
platforms.
the other social
is
medias,
basically
yeah.
what we want to say. Exactly.
Yeah,
So
with Twitch. So
exactly.
next.
So, but let's move on from Twitch a little bit. As we said, like
Yeah.
Twitch is a little bit of its own bubble without really
Yeah.
an algorithm. But to come back to like platforms that do have algorithms, that is Instagram, that is YouTube, that is even Twitter, that is like basically, I mean, also Facebook, if you're still on Facebook, or Metaverse, or what is it? What is Facebook called now? Is it?
I think Meta, yeah. Meta,
just
it's
Meta?
called. Like, Meta is Facebook, and the Metaverse is everything.
Yeah, okay,
Metaverse
It's
is
the
everything.
VR thing. Oh, that word. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's it's just their whole platforms, Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
So as we already said, so the easier non-financial ways is to follow or subscribe, okay? To like their posts, their pictures, their reels. Even if you see a reel, you know, if you watch it, just hit that like. Like, even, you know, if it entertained you, if it made you giggle, if it gave you a positive feeling, if a misplay of a person made you feel better about your own skill, whatever it is, hit that little heart and watch it, or TikTok, or whatever it is.
Or Story nowadays.
Story, exactly.
I still need to get used to it, guys, but it's there, and it helps us so much. You know what I do, Julia? Every single evening, I'm gonna do it, like, guys, obviously with our like different accounts we have, right? I go through all your stories. If I forgot during the day, like liking all of them, first with my account, I go through all your stories and like them. If I forgot, then I hop over to the derps'nburps account and like our stories just for the algorithm.
That's so cute.
To keep it going.
I need to really do that as well. Like, I try to do it as much as possible, especially like, you know, persons like you, Kerstin, like other streamers and stuff like that. I try to do that. But yeah, sorry, just to come back to that list. So subscribe, follow, like, comment, share. As we already said, like on a lot of platforms, especially I think TikTok and Instagram, the sharing option, I'm not sure how important it is on YouTube, but sharing is really, really important. As we said before, just click on copy the link, tap out of the app if you're on your phone, paste it into like a Word document and a notes, whatever, and then you're done with it, right? Or even send it to your friend. Then another thing that I wanted to touch on, which is super, super important for algorithms, which is often, I think that is probably the one thing that is most overlooked for most of the people that don't really know how social media work, or even if you're not really that deep into the topic, which I just recently learned, I think last year or something like that, watch time. So we're talking now about content that is video based, right? So that can be an Insta story. Okay, an Insta story is, what is it, 15 seconds, 10 seconds?
You can,
one slide, I'm not sure.
I think they added up to 30 or even 60 now. Something,
it's
something
15,
got changed,
15,
I'm pretty
it's 15
sure.
seconds a slide, and you can record 4 slides at once, so 1 minute. Exactly. So watch time is something that's really important. In Insta stories, which you often think about. So watch time, what is the watch time? It is the percentage or the amount of time of the full content you watch. So let's say I upload a video that is 1 minute long, and you only watch 30 minutes of that, the watch time is 50%, right? Or 30 seconds. Yeah, sorry. So the less time the content is gonna be consumed, the worse it is. If you watch the content from your favorite creator from the very beginning to the very end, and with the very end, I mean also the end credits, the end card where it says next video or whatever it is, every single second counts, really. If you like, I get it, it's really tempting when a video is over, especially in YouTube or something, that you don't watch the last 5 seconds. But even just those 5 seconds, if you don't watch that, that is already making the watch time go down for your favorite creator. And so is on Instagram. Like, I sometimes catch myself still doing that, but I really I really started not doing that.
Same.
So let's say an Insta slide is always like 10 or 15 seconds. Is it 10 seconds? I'm not 100% sure.
I think 15. I think 15,
15, right? So even if it's something that you're maybe not interested in, but you have the time, let that video run completely through the full 15 seconds. Because nowadays, the real view numbers are not as important. The important thing is the interaction and the watch time. So those are the two most valuable things. And on YouTube, there's another thing. Not only the watch time, that you watch the video really from the very beginning to the end. It's really important to not skip parts. Which sounds stupid, but skipping through a video can be also something that interferes with the watch time, obviously. And the other thing is click suggestions. So let's say you start your Chrome browser, you click on YouTube, and you have your recommended videos up. If you see a video in there from your favorite creator, doesn't matter if you watched it or not, and you want to support them, then you click that video again and you let that video run fully through. Or, you watch a video and then afterwards there's a next, like in the autoplay, there's a video of that creator again. Watch that. Because as soon as an algorithm sees that you
click these things.
Click more of this creator, watch everything from the beginning to the end, they're like, okay, there's this one person that does that. For each person that does that, that's just like a random number, but we're gonna recommend that video to another 10, and then from that 10, if there are like 3 people clicking on it again, and so on and so on. That is how those algorithms mostly work. So the more recommendations are getting clicked, the more it's getting spread by the algorithm. So just for you to understand how it works. And that is mostly like Instagram, TikTok,
and
a lot, and YouTube.
Also, what I wanted to add with the comments, like, there's always someone who starts a comment, right? No matter if there's like a tweet with 1 comment or 10 comments or 100 comments under the tweet, all of them started with the 1 comment. And that's what kept the tweet going. Like, best example right now is the tier lists.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
German
Steffi made it.
sweets,
Yes.
guys. German sweets and snacks. Julia did it, and I did it, I think, 2 days later, and people just mauled over our tier list, right?
So for people that don't know, should we just explain what it is quick?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, for people that don't know, so there's a website on the internet where you basically make tier lists. So from A to D, so A being the best, D is the worst.
S tier is the first.
S tier, sorry. S tier is the worst, superior, A, B, C, D. And then you get a bunch of products or whatever it is, and you rank them for yourself where do you see them. So for example, we did it with German sweets. So it's like Kinder Chocolate and Ahoy Brause, or what else was in there? Like
Bounty, which
licorice.
is D tier.
Exactly.
And all these things.
Kinder Bueno. Like all of those kind of things. And basically what we did, we ordered them in the way that we think it's correct. And obviously everybody has a different taste, right? So you post that, and then you upset people with potentially not liking their favorite sweet, and the conversation starts and it keeps going. And till this day, I still get notifications all the time that people are mauling, like Steffi said, over the thing. So that is also
in a funny way, though. It's people are just talking about this.
Of course. Like, we're not taking that too serious. Like, that is also maybe for people to understand why sometimes really controversial content works so well and blows up so much, for the simple reason that when something is controversial or triggering, or maybe something that disagrees with like a mainstream mindset or whatever it is, right? As soon as you say something really drastical, radical, or edgy, the people will get upset, and it will start trying to put you in your place or tell you that you're wrong, if that makes sense. And that is why drama works, sadly, so well, because you have the interactions with the content. So in case you were interested in that.
So the common thing is, no matter how, like, every single tweet post started with this 1 content, which keeps or starts to get this going, and then there's more people seeing this, and more people like, oh my god, I can't believe you put Bounty on D, Steffi, why are you doing this, are you crazy? And then there's another one which says, yeah, she's right, Bounty's not good. And that's what keeps the tweet then going. So there's one comment, and then there's 10, and then there's 100. But we always start at the same point. We always start at one. So commenting is also very, very
Exactly. Or tagging your
very
friends in
important
it.
for interaction.
Tagging your
Yeah,
friends in it if
yeah,
you think what it is. Like for example,
yeah,
I have this thing with Jess. Like every night Jess and me we're on TikTok and we watch those TikToks, and whenever we find
yeah,
something, we like send it to each other because it's funny. And there's also a way of being social, you know? Like a lot of people
yeah,
say that social media, is ruining friendships or whatever it is. Like still, if I find a piece of content that I think would bring happiness into somebody else's life and I share it with them, how does
yeah,
that not benefit a friendship? You know what I mean?
yeah. That was
Um,
one thing that was very hard for me in the beginning because my Instagram is spammed full of spam sponsorship.
oh yeah,
So I
the
barely
advertisements
ever
and stuff.
saw
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. But now, like, I feel like it's getting a little bit better. So now I'm really trying. If I see something, I'm sending it either like if it's Chucky and I send us all the time like beautiful hair colors and everything. Like
Aw.
all the pink stuff or whatever we see nice hair colors, like I sent her, I guess yesterday it was because I found or I saw one super cool like peachy hair color or pinky hair color again. So we sent each other these things, which is easier for me now because I see more on my
Yeah.
Instagram again.
Mm.
And the same with like memes or whatever, like with Ben. So this gets easier for me finally again because my Instagram seems to be a bit less
Steffi's coming back
spammy.
to social media. I can send her
Yeah,
stuff
which is some
again.
yes, it's amazing. Like I can
Next
finally
step is
see
I need
some.
Steffi on TikTok. That's the only
Yeah,
thing.
that's the next
Oh
thing.
man,
TikTok,
I
yeah.
see so often things that I want to send you on TikTok, but I'm like, oh man, Steffi's not on TikTok. But I get it.
I
I get
am,
it.
but I'm never interacting with it.
We don't wanna be controlled by the Chinese. Okay.
The hot
Um
Asian boys consume me. So yeah,
um
commenting, guys, very important. Sharing, very important. And all things don't really take much time. If you want to do this, I'm not saying you
exactly.
should do that every single day, because we all have other things to do. We're all working. We all have our own free time. But this is just a way, or we just want to show you some ways, or keep that like remind everyone of these ways because these are super obvious, but because of that exact reason we sometimes forget about it, and that's all for free, and you
Exactly.
support your favorite creators so much with that. Like
Also,
engagement is the most important thing for
exactly.
us.
And watch time. And
Yeah,
another
yeah.
tip that I want to give, which I do as well often. So don't get me wrong, like I get it that even if it's your favorite creator, there's sometimes times where there's a certain piece of content that creator will post that you're maybe not interested in, so you don't
Mhm.
want to maybe consume it fully, but you still want to support the person.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing, for example, if something like that happens, I have that especially with people that I watch vlogs with, and I have, for example, somebody that posts daily vlogs but also workouts, and I'm not really super interested in the workouts that they're posting,
Mhm.
but I still want to support them. So what I'm doing, let's say I'm cleaning the house, or I'm going into the shower, like I put my laptop up and I just let that video run from beginning till end and let it on autoplay, so that whatever
Mhm.
content comes next and gets recommended, so that gets watched further and further. So
Mhm.
let's say there's, for example, you don't like my cooking videos, or I don't know, I stream today, but I play a game that you don't like. Open a
Mhm.
stream on your iPad if you will. Like I'm not saying you have to do it. It's just if you
Do it.
still want to support, you open a stream on your phone, on your tablet,
Yeah.
on a second browser. You put the volume on super low, or while you cook, and or let's say you go to work. Obviously with the electricity bills at the moment, maybe don't do
Mhm.
that. But if you don't care about that much, you could, for example, also start up your PC, put on the Twitch page of the
Yeah.
person, and just give them that extra viewer once they go live, even if you're not home. Like it sounds
Yeah.
stupid, but you can do that. Obviously, do you have to? No. Do you want to go the extra mile for the one creator? Then you can obviously do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. So let's
And
see.
then,
Hmm.
did we cover all the
The ways of supporting, you mean?
for free? Yeah,
I think we did.
covered
And
all
then
of
is
them.
obviously the financial support, right?
Yeah, which
Um,
is you can either like on YouTube now it's a bit confusing because YouTube following is subscribing, right? And um the monthly like subscription option you have on YouTube
it's called
is
different, right?
called a membership or join or to become a member,
Mm-hmm.
which is a bit confusing still because of the terms. But obviously, guys, subscribing, I think, I'm not sure how it works on Twitter now, because
Oh
some
yeah, I
people
didn't see that.
already
Can
have the
everybody do that
super
now?
follow. I'm not sure if that's only for verified creators or if you have to have a certain amount of like followers.
Mm-hmm.
But they implemented that as well. Obviously on Twitch, subscribing or tipping directly to the person. You can. Some people still have like Patreon where you can support them. I use
Hmm.
Patreon, for example, or the normal tipping option. Julia has her subscription option and the tipping option. On Twitter, I personally haven't tipped to anything on Twitter because I didn't like really check it out yet, but you
Yeah,
can.
I don't know how that
There's a
works
little
yet
like
either.
money icon where you can tip people on Twitter on top of super following, which is basically a subscription on Twitter. You can subscribe to certain people on Twitter already on a
Mm-hmm.
monthly basis, like you can on Twitch or on YouTube with the membership. Those are different ways of financial support, wherever you want to give that or if you want to give that at all,
So it's
beside
basically
Patreon.
Twitter being really similar to OnlyFans and Patreon, then, right? With those tipping options to the posts.
Uh,
Kinda, right?
mm, I'm not. Nah, I wouldn't say so because
No?
you can.
Okay, no, you can
You
still see, but like if I
Yeah, you can see
let's
everything.
say
It's just a subscription.
I see Steffi posting like a super cool Star Wars themed picture that she took a lot of time creating, and I'm like, wow,
Mhm.
I really like that. I see that that was a lot of work. I just want to tip her $5 to show her my appreciation
Yep.
for that. I can do that, right?
Yep. Yep.
I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna be honest. Like I
Yep.
like
Yep.
that
I like that as
you
well.
get, like, obviously don't get me wrong, like it can get a lot, like I do understand that, and I want to just say that in the very beginning about when we start talking about financial support. So what I think is
Mm.
really important to say, that nobody, and I really think nobody, will ever want you to support them financially if they know that you can personally
Yeah.
not
Yep.
afford it.
Yeah.
So please do not
Hundred
feel
percent.
pressured. Let's say you're having like a tight month where you have to
Yeah.
decide between, I don't know, buying food for the next week or subscribing to your 2 or 3 favorite creators. Then please choose the food. Like if you're in debt
Obviously.
already, please don't spend money on subscriptions. Like make sure that you for yourself put yourself first. Be sure that you are in a good place, that you have
Yeah.
money, that you can afford everything you need for living, that you can maybe even put some money on the side. And then with the money that you put on the side, if you feel like you want to support your favorite creator, then you can obviously do it. But please
Yeah.
always put yourself first. Don't feel pressured because anybody on social media is not doing well, for example, that you want to make them feel better through giving them money. Like please don't do this. Please only do
Yeah.
it if you are good by yourself, if you have the money on the side, if you don't, first of all, also expect anything in return. That is really important.
Yeah.
I've seen that
Yeah.
before, not personally for me, because I think I set my boundaries really straight from the beginning of what people can expect from me in return. Like I had to learn this early on in my
The thing
career
is,
to set those
can I
boundaries. Yeah,
can I
sure.
throw something in?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, um, and I don't know where this mindset comes from that people expect something when they sub to you or to someone.
Mm,
Because the thing for me is, for myself, the way I see it is, this person creates awesome content on every single platform I am on. I'll just subscribe to them because this is how I support them. And
mm,
in return, I get this all this content. Like, I already got this content, you know what I mean? I
Mm.
support them because they already did so, or do so much cool shit. So I don't understand where this expectation comes from when you like willing or will how to say
When you're already willing to
it?
put so much out there for
When
free, right?
you're yes, you're no, you're willing to like support, or you just support
Oh,
the
you mean the other way
creator.
around? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
the other way around. Like, you support this person with 5 euros above. I can't talk anymore. With 5 euros a month, because they do so much cool shit, and I don't understand. Maybe it's just me. I just don't understand why you think
I think
you
it's a
expect more.
psychological thing for a lot of people. Like, I
It's
think
like,
first
yeah,
of all,
maybe.
people are so spoiled.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, that
Mm.
I mean, look at YouTube, look at Twitch. Like, again, and I don't want to guilt trip anybody in feeling like you owe creators anything, because obviously
No,
we
you don't.
put ourselves out there
Yeah.
because we want to, and we know the
Yeah.
conditions that we might make money with the content that we create, but
Yep.
we might also not, right? You're
Yep.
not in a
Exactly.
fixed contract or anything. But I think because in times like this, there's so much out there for free. Like, you can basically
Mm.
consume almost every type of content for free. You can interact with those people on platforms for free.
Mm.
That there's just this expectation that that is for free anyway. So if I give you something, I want something extra in return. So maybe it's
Yep.
like for some people, like, again, I'm not saying that's for everybody, but maybe
That mindset down.
exactly, for maybe for some people, like, I saw it for example, in the past. For me, I had it at one point where I had a person donating for to me
Mhm.
money. So every now and then he would send me, like, I don't know, $100, $200, whatever it is, on
Mhm.
stream as a tip. And I always say it, like, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. I hope you know
Yeah.
that you're not forced, you don't have to do this for me.
Yeah.
But I hope you know, just because you donate this, I will not treat you different to the other people in my community. And that was
Yeah.
something. So I had that experience once with a person that was
Mhm.
really, like, expecting me to, for example, I have this redemption thing on my stream, you know, where
Mhm.
people, when they watch for a certain time, they get channel points, and then I follow them on Instagram or on Twitter, or add them on Steam, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
um and I say it with this, just because I follow you back when you redeem, for example, those points, which is for free. I will not, that doesn't mean that I will interact with you whenever you want that, right?
Yeah.
So I had
Yeah.
that person also redeeming, like, the Steam sign and
Mhm.
Steam ad and stuff. And that person then expected me, while I was streaming, that person was messaging me, like, hey, when are you starting to stream? And I'm, you know, in the beginning, I would start answering. I was like, if you would check, I'm streaming right now.
Mhm.
And then over and over, and I'm like, you know, dude, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna tell you every time I start my stream. You can just put your notifications on. And then that person would always, like, write me
Yeah.
every single day, how are you doing, blah 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 blah. And I would tell them, like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm streaming right now. If you want to know all of those kind of things, why don't you, I tried to do it in a nice
Hop
way. I
into the
would be
stream
like,
and talk to
hop
me.
into the
Yeah.
stream, ask me, like, just because you donated me a certain amount of money, I
Yeah.
don't owe you to be your personal monkey that answers you
No.
whenever you feel like. And I think that is
You
a really,
choose.
exactly, it's your choice that
Yeah.
you
You choose
gave
to
that money to
support
me.
someone.
Exactly.
And sorry. Yeah. Keep.
No, no, no.
I cut you off.
Yeah,
What
sorry.
did you want to say?
So in the end, like, that person didn't want their money back or something. I even offered him. I was like, listen, if you misunderstood anything, if you thought that
Mm.
if you give me money, or a certain amount of money, that I'm gonna be, you don't pay me to be your friend. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have the time or the capacity to be
Yeah.
everybody's friend. And don't get me wrong, like, I made a lot of very good and tight friends, and I'm really close with a lot of people out of my
Yeah.
community. But that was, for example, also one of the moments where I had to set some boundaries
Mm.
of that. If somebody wants to talk to me, you can always do it on stream.
Yeah.
For close friends, I'm always there for them. Hop on Discord
Yeah.
with them. if they need to talk about it, or I call them or whatever it is. But you cannot do that for everybody. And please
No.
never
And
feel
nobody
like
can do that for everybody.
exactly. And don't ever feel like somebody owes you anything because you decided out of your own mind that you want to donate to somebody or to support somebody.
Yeah.
Don't ever expect anything in return unless it is something you agreed up on beforehand, right? Yeah, but so I think it's really important that from both ways, so as the creator or the person that consumes the content, that the boundaries are really well placed and understood by both sides.
I think you said it in a very good way, like that, what did I want to say now? Fuck, my brain today.
Scatterbrain.
You already said it in a very good way with the boundaries and everything, and also like what I've learned, like the content is already there, guys, right? And that's, for example, this is just how I think, and that's what I got taught from my dad, because my dad, when smartphones became a thing, there were dozens of like apps for free and which were very like awesome and great. And my dad is that kind of person that says, hey, I like this app, I'm gonna, because all of these creators, like they're small, like small companies or self-employed that, or programmers that thought like, hey, this is a cool idea, let's create an app and put it out there. And if some people want to support us, they can do so by just tipping us. They always have tipping options in their apps, or support options, or buying the app for €5, so there's no ads anymore, which usually brings them the money, because the ads bring them the money
Exactly.
when an app is for free. So what my dad always said was like, this app is for free, but this app is amazing. I'm gonna support those people with, I don't know, $2 to $5, because the content they put out deserves my appreciation in form of some like bucks, because they had a lot of work with it. I used that a lot, and I just can spare like $2 or $5.
Yeah.
So, and the same, like it's the same for us. The content is already there. That's how I see it, guys.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
I support this person, or I donate this person because of the content they're creating. And why would I ever expect something in return? I do this out of my own will. I send them $5 or $10 because I like their already existing content, so they can create more. And that's just how the circle goes.
But don't you think it's like, I don't know if you see it as well, but like if you think about it in our society, nobody has a problem to, I mean, it's maybe not a good comparison, right? But everybody goes to Starbucks and buys a coffee for $5, or spends 5 years here for a subscription, or whatever it is. Like you spend like those small, let's call it smaller amounts of money here and there. But if you go into an app store and you search an app, like it doesn't matter what it is, you know, if it's an organization app, if it's something to scan documents and merge it into a PDF, whatever it is, like, you know, those handy small things. And in an app store, you see that something is 99 cents or €3 or €5. Everybody's straight like, oh my God, I need to pay for this app. No, I don't want it anymore. Like, why should I pay for this? Because we're spoiled. Yeah, because we're so spoiled for everything being free. And that is something that is, for me, like, I catch myself sometimes like that. It's absurd that we're okay with spending, I don't know, $5-10 for other things like it's nothing. And then if it's something that really brings us joy or is helpful for us in any way, we're so determined.
And there's a lot of work behind it.
Yeah,
there was a lot of work behind it as well.
Exactly. And especially if it's like one-time purchases, you know, for those kind of apps, like that is something where I'm like, oh, I don't understand it. But like as I said, I already caught myself in that moment as well. Like I think it was something like that, one of this merging scan apps. I don't know, it was a long time ago, but you know, and now I'm kind of like the other way around. Like if I really enjoy something,
sorry guys,
bless you.
I just
oh poor Steffi. Now I'm more in that mindset that if I enjoy something, it doesn't matter if it's content, if it's if it's a game that is maybe for free, or the best example for me was wait, what was it? There was some free game that I used to play, and then I bought skins in
League
it.
of Legends.
No, but like I don't remember. Was it Naraka? No, Naraka was not free to play. Naraka was to play, right?
Naraka was free to play in beta, but then it was
free,
I think. Yeah,
but see, that's for example something that, I mean, let's say you have, I don't know an example right now, beside of like League or Valorant or something like that, but that is something what I sometimes also don't understand, people being like, oh yeah, it's a free game, and then, well, yeah, they're coming out with new skins they need to pay money for. Nobody forces you to buy those deliverables. That's your free choice. And do I like skins in video games? Yeah. Do I have a problem with buying them? Yes, of course. If anything is pink and kawaii and like cute or like badass or I don't know, make me feel like I'm a badass in game, I'm gonna buy it. But that is also my appreciation towards the people that put in so much work. Like, again, I feel like it happens so often. We're so fast and easy to criticize people that create stuff for free for us. It doesn't matter if it's video games, you know, like, think about how often, I mean, me included, we're like, oh my god, Valorant, there's this new bug, or the ranking system, or whatever, this is shit. Like, of course, but those people put in so much work. They try to balance stuff. They try out new things on how to make the matchmaking work better, how to make it possible that you can play with your friends. And in the end, all of this is like trial and error, and they're trying to you know, make, like, balance it out between being fair but also pleasing the community and that kind of stuff. So we're so spoiled in getting everything exactly delivered for free in the way that we wanted, that we sometimes get so disrespectful towards things that are really like bringing us joy. Like, think about how many good moments you had in those games, and how often we flame them, me included. Again, like, I don't want to sound super hypocritical.
Good moments. Oh, mega lol.
Leak and good moments.
Oh, mega lol.
No, but yeah, I think that's like a little bit of a problem of our society, that we're just so spoiled.
Yeah,
we're like
we
all
are
spoiled little brats that are in some type of way. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously there are other companies, EA, right? That are that are just letting you pay for every single things. So I don't know. Then again, we just need to appreciate, I think, sometimes more of what we have and what people do.
Yeah. Just sometimes, like, try keeping in your mind that there's so much, as Julia said, we pay $5 for a coffee or whatever it is. Internet is completely free. If you can spare it, if you wanna spare it, keep in mind there's so much cool stuff out there. All these people have so much, like, put so much love and energy and work into whatever they do. Sometimes like, financial appreciation is always a way to help them keep creating these things so they can, like, keep doing what they do. So yeah, tipping, subscribing, just
Exactly.
how
Like,
to say?
it's obviously a valid reason, a valid thing to do. But again, like, only do it if you can afford it.
Yeah, obviously, it's just in
Don't
general,
feel
like,
exactly.
as we say, everything is like, these are the options you have. This is what you can do for free. There's so much you can do for free. There's also the financial parts, how to support people or how to support apps you like, or whatever it is. There's always an option where you just can, like, say, okay, $2, you get that. This app is amazing. I love this organization app. I love this grocery list app, or whatever it is.
Or you spend the extra 10 minutes every night before bed liking every Insta story of your creator, or like also their Twitter posts, and maybe watching a video to the end, putting on a YouTube video while you're going into the shower. So I hope that we gave you maybe some insights, or maybe some point of views, or maybe some information that you didn't know. Maybe it was the watch time, maybe it was the part with sharing, giving you a little bit behind the scenes view of how algorithms really make it hard for creators sometimes to grow or even to stay at the same level. And yeah, I would be actually really interested also into the comments what it was that you maybe didn't know, if you agree with our view, if we helped you in some way to maybe support some of your creators even better. If you were aware about the difference between being a supporter and a spectator, maybe if you are a super fan for somebody, for example, I am the #1 super fan of MGK, in case you don't know that. Like, I like everything that he does in his life. Like, so, and always keep in mind that every creator is also a fan of somebody. Like, it is always a circle. Like, everybody supports or fangirls or fanboys over somebody. So yeah, I hope we could give you some insights. I hope it helped you in some way or shed some new light. Or maybe we only said things that you were really already aware of. And then if you were, then kudos to you. Like, I'm proud of you. And maybe, you know what would interest me as well? I would like to know from the people whose super fan they are. Like, I think almost everybody has that one person that they like just consume everything they do and know everything. Like, I would like to know who that person is for you. Do you have anything else that you want to know from them?
I just wanted to say, for me, it was One Direction back in the days, guys. I knew everything. I knew everything, like literally everything. I shared everything. It's been a while now. After One Direction came BTS.
True.
I don't know whose super fan I am at the moment, besides sharing like my favorite content creator stuff. I'll think about it and share it in the comments.
Yeah, I wanna know. But yeah, again, I hope it was a topic that you liked. Also, don't forget to tell us what you thought about the little like how you doing kind of part. If it's something you want to hear more often. If we should cut it out next podcast, if it was a little bit, boring to you. Also, something that I wanted to remind you of, we are always open to your suggestions when it comes to topics, things that you want to hear our opinion on, that you want to hear our point of view, that you just want to hear us ramble about for an hour. There is, again, leave it in the comments on the YouTube video or go on Twitter, and we have a post, I think, pinned, right? Where they can put ideas for episodes. Shoot us a DM, shoot Steffi a cringe email, and
as always.
and we're gonna see each other again next Monday. So thank you so much for listening. Have a beautiful day, and share some positive vibes. Bye.
Positive vibes. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Derps and Burps podcast.
If you enjoyed it, make sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram at derps'nburps. See you online.